What is up, SureFit fam? This is your girl SureFit Johnson here with another video. Okay, so I have a full series and I'm still going. I'm still at them about teacher, first year teacher, student teaching, clinical teaching, trials and tribulations of becoming a teacher. And this one is no different. If you haven't seen that series, that playlist, it is still growing. This is a video that's going in there. Go ahead and check it out. I will link it at the very end of this video along with the subscribe button, because you know what, if you're here looking at me, watching me, listening to me, you need to subscribe to my channel and come and be a part of the SureFit Johnson family. In this video right here, I'm going to talk about how you can become a teacher. How you can become a teacher. In other videos, I give tips, I give experiences, but this one right here, I am strictly going to focus on becoming a teacher. There are two different ways to become a teacher. You can take an alternative certification or you can go to college for this. So I am first going to talk about going to school to become a teacher, because that's what I did, and then I'll talk about the alternative certification after. So you want to become a teacher. I wanted to become a teacher. The first thing you have to do is go to college. So simple as that. Go to college, whether you go to a community college for 2 years and then transfer to university, whether you go to a university for 4 years, either way, just make sure you go to college. Your first 2 years, you're doing your basics anyway. And then once you get into your last 2 years, that's when you have to make sure you tell your guidance counselor or whoever it is that I want to be a teacher, so that you can make sure you're taking courses to become a teacher. And that doesn't happen until your last 2 years. You start getting more focused and on exactly what it is that you want to do. You will take many educational courses that will prompt you to become a teacher in your 3rd and 4th year. Along with your 3rd and 4th year, you will start your field basing. In your classes, at my university, you had to get a C or better. But honestly, if you are trying to become a teacher and you're trying to do well, you should probably get a B or at least an A in your educational courses, because that means you're a master at what it is that you're learning and what you're doing. So try to make sure you get good grades in that, because who doesn't want to get honors? Now, do you have to get honors? No. Why? Because C's also get degrees. Everybody knows that. But you still want to be, you know, the best of the best, because when you apply to jobs, they do ask you what was your GPA. They really do. They do. I know, because that's all on the applications. In your 3rd year, you will field base. So what field basing is, you basically go to a school. It might be a certain amount of hours. For me personally, it was 2 days a week. For the whole semester, I had to go on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I also had to take a classroom management along with that. I had to read tons of books. And basically, you go there to observe a teacher that's doing exactly what you want to do. So whether it's math, you'll be following along with the math teacher, reading, history, social studies, PE, whatever it is, you will be with a teacher. You'll be paired up with a teacher every Tuesday and Thursday, or whatever your university pans out for you. You will have to do observations in other classes. You will have to do presentations, and then you will also have to teach in one of those classes. My university required me to teach 5 times, and I was given a university supervisor that would go to the school that I was assigned to and watch me teach a lesson to one of my classes. And she did that 3 times, and the other 2 observations came from the cooperating teacher that I was assigned. For me, that was a semester long, so from August until December, before Christmas time, I was there and ready, working, focused, learning, absorbing all the knowledge I could. And once I finished with that, I was done. I got my grade, I got an A. And you just want to make sure, you you get a good grade during that time. It's actually pretty easy, especially if you want to become a teacher. That's the time that you learn and you gain more knowledge about your field, your area, and you know, you have someone to help you out. You have a teacher. Next, you also have to take your content test. At my university, we were not allowed to move on until we took our content test. Now, when you take your content test for whatever subject area that you have, whether it's math, reading, science, social studies, or PE, whatever it is that you're doing, special education, make sure you take it during your field basing, because if your university doesn't require you to take it before then, just remember you have another test that you're gonna have to take, and you kind of just want to finish all the testing before you even graduate, which is what I did. So because my university required us to finish prior to even going to student teaching, and I plan to student teach, when you sign up for your content test, you will have loads of study materials given to you if you are indeed a college student, and your university will tell you exactly how to do it, exactly where website to go to, and exactly how to pay for it. If they don't, literally go to the education department and ask if you're trying to get it beforehand, or just Google it. I honestly waited last minute. I didn't take my test until December while we were on Christmas break. And if I'd failed that test, then I wouldn't have been able to go on and move on to student teaching. So thank God I passed that test. If you don't pass your test, or you're not sure if you're going to pass your test, or you don't know how to feel about your test, take your test as early as possible, because you do have to wait, I think either 30 or 60 days until you can retest. And retesting is great, especially if you need it. So my advice to you is, when you know that you're going to field base, I would take it the summer before, especially if you are on track. If you're not on track, it's totally fine, but take it during field basing, or at least take it the summer before. At least start studying in the summer before, so you can take it, pass it, and move on. So once you've done studying and taking your content exam and you pass, hooray, then you can move on. Then you go to student teaching, which means you're almost done. You're literally almost done, and this is going to be for a full semester, and so I did mine from January until May. It was amazing. Because I am EC through 12, I did have to go to all 3 levels, elementary, middle school, and high school. So if you are EC through 12, you will have to do the same thing, unless you request to stay at a certain school because you know that you want to teach a certain grade level. But if not, you will have to go through all 3. And if you're curious on how they split it up, they'll split it up how they want to. But when I did my student teaching, I did from January to March, right before spring break, I went to a high school, and then after spring break until May, I went to the elementary, and then during my field basing, I was in the middle school. Your school may break it up differently, but you will have to go to all 3. During your student teaching, it is pretty much as similar to field basing as you can get. Besides, you should have more confidence. You'll be there every day, all day, like a teacher, but you're not getting paid. So you'll be there Monday through Friday, from the time the bell rings to the time the bell ends, and you might stay longer to help out if needed, especially if you're wanting to get more experience, especially if you wanted to talk to the teacher, pick her brain, especially if you are wanting a letter of recommendation. Honestly, for me, I didn't stay after school and do all the extra stuff, but I built great relationships with my mentors. My mentors were very good to me, my cooperating teachers, and to this day, we still talk, and I still appreciate them so much, even though it was like not even a year ago. But I still talk to them. I still keep them up to date and up to speed in my life. They're amazing. Student teaching is just like field basing. while you're doing your student teaching, you will have to do observations in other classrooms. I had to do 5. I had to write on them. You have to teach. You have to teach as much as you can. All of them will not be observed by your professor who will be grading you. You will have to record one of them. It's literally the same, besides it's more quantified. Again, you want to make sure you get a good grade. I did get an A, and just make sure you're learning and growing from the experiences, and you get better every time that you teach, every time that you observe. I would say make sure you take your PPR test during this time as well, or you can take it after you're finished. If you're trying to get a job though, as soon as you finish college and you're trying to apply, I would definitely have that PPR ready and taken. Again, your university will give you materials to study, and honestly, the PPR is not hard at all. It's really just more so common sense. And one advice that my cooperating teacher gave me is you have to look at the PPR as if it's the perfect world. She told me when she took the PPR, she failed it because she was thinking of students and people that she knew. Students are not perfect, they have their struggles. But the PPR is talking about that student who has 2 parents, talking about that student who has a great breakfast, has great relationships, great friends, all around great. And we all know that ain't the case. But when you go in, you have to think about that and not anything else. And she gave me that advice. I give that advice. I took that advice. I only took it one time. Yeah, boom, boom. And I passed. So all in all, then you have your ceremony, you get your pen, you've taken your test, you've done your hours, then you're done. You graduate. Congratulations. If you have questions on that, just drop it down below. If you want me to go more into detail, let me know. So now, for you alternative certification people, let's just say you went to college, you got a degree in something, and then you decided that you wanted to be a teacher. People do that all the time. A lot of time people use it as an in-between job. A friend of mine used it as an in-between job until she was able to go back to school and get her master's and to get her doctorate. So she was like, I'm gonna be a teacher so I can make a little bit of money, make some income. And that's a great idea. So whatever the reason is that you decided to get an alternative certification, good job to you, and hopefully this helps. So you already have your bachelor's degree, you've already graduated, so good job. You have to decide what it is that you want to teach, and then you have to apply and be approved by the Texas ACP, and you have to meet the requirements that they have for you on there. If you want to know the detail and specific requirements, literally Google it and look it up. You will also have a screening, and you just have to meet like their standards and the criteria, which is basically making sure that you have a degree and making sure you know exactly what it is that you want to go into. The hardest part is actually getting a teaching position. So you have to get a teaching position to start your alternative certification. Once you apply and you get a job, after then you will be able to apply for your probationary certificate. You will have someone come out and observe you. They will ask your mentors questions about you. Now you will be a teacher. So let's just say you wanted to do math. You will be a teacher. You will be teaching the math class, but you will have somebody at the school, the principal most likely, and maybe someone else helping you, guiding you, mentoring you to see if you need any help with anything. But then you will have somebody from the state to come along. They will come every so often. They will ask the principal, they will ask whoever your campus mentor is how you're doing, what you need help on, and they will also observe you for a numerous amount of hours. And then in order to get the teaching certificate, they have to watch you, you have to do well, they have to pass you, and you also have to go online and you have to take and watch a series of videos and answer questions. And that part probably is boo, but you would have done it in college. So it's not that big of a deal. Once you complete all the requirements, the training program, the internship, exams, and any other requirements, you have to do it within the year. You have to complete all of that within that first year. Sometimes you can go until 2 years if you ask for an extension deadline, but try to finish. If you start in August teaching and it doesn't end until June, you should be able to complete it within that year. Yes, you will have a lot of things going on, but you don't want that probationary period to run out and then you have to do it all over again. Also, because the job that you have could definitely terminate you because you are not certified and you promised to be certified by the time that you were done. Once you've done everything that you need to do, you can apply for the certificate online, and whoever was sent from the state to observe you, they'll give you the green light and tell you everything is done. You will also be able to see on your portal that everything is done. And then guess what? Congratulations, you're a teacher. Honestly, doing all of that in 1 year seems amazing, especially for someone who went to university and spent 2 years of her life observing and student teaching, and I had to do it for free. I actually was paying to go do that. I hope that this video was extremely helpful for you guys in becoming a teacher. If you have any specific questions, go ahead and leave it down in the comment section. If you want to know more about me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You want to be a part of the fam, please give me a thumbs up. And until next time, you guys, peace.